All right, everyone, very warm welcome to all of you to this latest installment, and I believe the sixth installment of the Russian Revolution series, World History, for grade 9. And today we would essentially be looking at the rise of socialism in Russia. Okay, so what we would be looking at is that we would be looking at the rise of socialism in Russia. And if you remember, in the previous parts we had actually understood what was the backdrop of the Russian Revolution, what did the economy and the society of Russia look like at the almost the threshold of the revolution, so to speak. And today we would be considering the emergence of socialism, because of which the revolution essentially happened in the country that we are most interested in, and that is Russia. Right. So let us try to understand. Okay. Now, if you remember 1914, okay, 1914 is quite an important year as far as world history generally is concerned, because if you remember in 1914, and if you have checked out the previous videos, you will realize that Tsar Nicholas II, okay, Tsar Nicholas II was ruling Russia. Yeah, so it becomes slightly obvious that up until 1914, okay, up until 1914, all political parties were illegal in Russia. Okay, so all political parties were illegal in Russia. Right, so basically you cannot really start thinking also about setting up your own political party. You cannot think of having elections. There is essentially no universal adult franchise. Basically there's nothing. Okay, however, even though it was illegal, but still there was no stopping people, right? Of course. So a group of socialists, okay, there was perhaps this group of friends maybe, they got together in 1898, okay, just 2 years before the start of the 20th century. So they got together in 1898 and they formed the first socialist workers' party in Russia, and it was called the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party. Okay, cute name. RSDWP. Okay, Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party. Okay, so since the word social is coming into the picture, you obviously understand that it is a socialist organization. It is a socialist party. Okay, it was formed by a group of socialists who were absolutely in love with Marx. Okay, they were like, "Arey, Marx Bhagwan hai, Marxism is God." Okay, and Karl Marx is the true savior of humankind, basically. Okay, so they formed this Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party. Lovely, beautiful. But of course, since the Tsar had banned political organizations, okay, since the Tsar had banned political organizations in Russia, this particular party that was created used to function illegally. Okay, so they used to function illegally. Yes, it was not a legal organization. And if we talk about the role, of this party, it set up a newspaper, okay, which spoke of revolutionary ideas. Okay, it set up a newspaper which spoke about revolutionary ideas. Then, of course, it helped mobilize workers, okay, in factories. It helped mobilize workers in factories. And last but not the least, एक बहुत ही important role है जो हम ignore नहीं कर सकते. The very important role that we cannot ignore is helping workers to organize protests and strikes. Okay, helping the workers to organize protests and strikes. Get it? Now, if we look at the general ideology, Okay, if we look at the general ideology of the Russian socialists, basically socialists in Russia, okay, if we look at the general ideology of Russian socialists, they felt, okay, that they felt that peasants, okay, they felt that peasants working in the countryside could perhaps be the face of the revolution. Okay, that peasants who used to work in the countryside could perhaps be the face of the revolution. Essentially speaking, the change that needs to be brought in the society by overthrowing the existing regime can be initiated with the help of the peasants. And why did they feel so? They felt so because the peasants in Russia, if you remember the previous videos that you might have seen, they used to follow a concept called Mir. Okay, kindly refer to the previous videos. Okay, Mir was a socialist concept. Okay, Mir was a socialist concept in which a group of workers in a particular commune got together, pooled in their land resources, and then divided the land based on individual needs and requirements of the different farmers that were a part of that commune. Yes, so as you can see, it is collective ownership. Okay, what is it? It is collective ownership and distribution of land. Okay, collective ownership and distribution of land, which is a socialist concept. And because of this particular practice, which was unique to Russia, socialists thought that peasants could be the face of the Russian Revolution. Okay, fair enough. So throughout the 1900s, okay, throughout the 1900s, early 1900s at least, okay, early 1900s at least, the socialists were extremely active in the countryside. Okay, extremely active in the countryside, where they were trying to gain the support of the peasants for the revolution. Got it? Now, during this time, exactly after 2 years, so 1898, the first party was formed, which was the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party. Back again in 1900, just after 2 years, there is another development that happens, and the Socialist Revolutionary Party, okay? The Socialist Revolutionary Party is established. Okay, Socialist Revolutionary Party is established, right? अब इसका aim क्या था? What is the aim of this party? Of course, every party that comes into existence is going to have some aim or the other, right? Every party that comes into existence will have some aim or the other. Let us try to see what does the Socialist Revolutionary Party that is just created, what does it really want in life? Okay, it demanded equal rights for peasants. Okay, it demanded equal rights for peasants. Okay, and it said that the land which belongs to the nobles, okay, the land which belongs to the nobles should be transferred to the peasants. Okay, should be transferred to the peasants. So this was the thinking behind the Socialist Revolutionary Party. They demanded equal rights for all peasants, and then they said that the land which belongs to the nobles should be transferred to the peasants. All right, now most of the socialists most of the socialists, as I have mentioned before, were of this opinion that peasants were natural socialists, okay? Again, in the sense that they got together, collected their land, distributed it, basically socialist stuff, right? Peasants were natural socialists and that they could be the face of the revolution. But there emerged this person out of nowhere who said that this ideology of peasants being natural socialists was absolutely incorrect. Okay? This particular person that I'm going to talk about right now said that this ideology of peasants being natural socialists were absolutely incorrect. And please put your hands together for the most legendary character in the whole of the Russian Revolution story, Vladimir Lenin. Okay, here, this is his entry point. Like Salman Khan enters in his movies with a lot of pomp and show. Here is where Vladimir Lenin is entering the picture. Okay, Vladimir Lenin will now, as you will be seeing very shortly, be responsible for actually organizing, orchestrating, conducting, planning the entire revolution, along with his other friends, of course. But for right now, he came into the picture and said that peasants are not natural socialists. Why did he say that? The why is important. Why did he think that the peasants were not natural socialists? Reason number one. Lenin said that peasants are not united. Okay. Lenin said that peasants are not united. There is a lot of social hierarchy. Okay. There is a lot of social hierarchy amongst the peasants, is what Lenin said. Cool. Then he said some were poor farmers working for the others, and some were rich capitalist farmers, okay, who employed the poor farmers. Are you able to understand what he's saying? So he said that there is a differentiation. Okay, he said that there is a differentiation because of which all of them cannot be a part of the socialist revolution. Are you able to understand? Are you able to understand what Lenin is trying to say? So Lenin is trying to say कि farmers के बीच में बहुत differentiation है, social hierarchy है, unity नहीं है. Some are poor, some are capitalist, is what he's saying. So because of this existing differentiation, he says that all of them, some of them maybe, but all of them cannot be a part of a socialist revolution. Here is when, around this time, because of Lenin, the Socialist Revolutionary Party, and this is very important, okay, because of Lenin, the Socialist Revolutionary Party got bifurcated into two separate factions. Faction मतलब parts, ठीक है? Got segregated into two separate factions. So the first one was the Bolshevik. Okay? First one was the Bolshevik group. And the second one was known as the Menshevik group. Alright. First part was known as the Bolshevik group, and the second one was known as the Menshevik group. Now, let us see what the basic difference was. Bolshevik group was led by Lenin. Okay. Bolshevik group was led by Lenin. He said that the party and its members, be very mindful about this, okay? The party and its members should be disciplined, okay? Party and its members should be disciplined. Party should be open only for selected people. Party should be open only for selected people, and the number of people and their quality, okay, the number of people and their quality should be strictly controlled, is what he said. Okay, so basically he's a control freak, right? He's essentially a control freak. So Bolshevik group was led by Lenin. What was Lenin's ideology? That the party and its members should be highly disciplined. Number one. This is point number one. Then he said that the party should be open only for selected people, and that the number of people and their quality should be controlled, is what the Bolsheviks said. Mensheviks, on the other hand, were chilled. Okay. They said that, okay, if anyone is interested in being a part of our party, they can. Period. That is all they said. They were slightly more tolerant. Okay, they were slightly more tolerant. They said that the party should be open to all. Okay, they said that the party should be open to all. So you can realize that the Bolsheviks became the radicals. Okay, meanwhile the Mensheviks were the slightly more moderate group. Okay, Mensheviks were slightly more moderate, they were more chilled out, they were more tolerant. And then they said that the party should be open to all. Okay, so this is where we are going to end our discussion for today. In the next session, we are going to be doing a little peekaboo at the 1905 revolution, and here is where we officially enter the phase of the revolution itself, right? So all the very best to you. Please do take good care of yourselves and stay safe, and I shall see you next time.